Welcome back to New Day Northwest. Author and motivational speaker and my friend Kent Grant's new book, Yoga in a Business Suit, takes lessons learned from yoga and applies them directly to business, to our professional life. Here with what we can learn, please welcome author Ken Grant. How are you?
Good.
So the book, where's the book? I forgot to bring the book out. We'll get a copy of it. I love that it is simple, it is short, it is profound, and I learned something from every word in there. It is a great book.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about what inspired it.
So I am taking yoga, although I don't look like a yoga fan, I look more like a yogurt fan.
I'm so glad you're doing it.
It's good. I mean, you know what? It saves my life every Wednesday night.
How about that?
I know that because it just brings me back and it refreshes me because, you know, this lifestyle is not an easy one, right? Oh,
there's the book.
You asked for a book, and
I love
it is.
And there it is. It's my fault. I left it backstage, but I truly did really enjoy it. Go ahead.
So I would take yoga, you know, and I'm starting to, you know, you listen to the gal, and you're listening, and you're doing all these things, and all of a sudden, one day it's like, you know what? She's using some of the words that I use in my profession as a branding guy. And then more and more, it's like, wait a second, I'm hearing more. Like, sometimes you just at that serendipitous moment.
Right, worlds collide.
Correct, and you're the one hearing it, you're like, is nobody else hearing this? So I'd literally end the yoga, run out to the counter at the gym, take down notes. At one point, I just had these copious notes. This was originally going to be a blog. And it just kept on growing and growing, and then it was 5 principles, and then 7, and I got to 10. So it's also part of a much bigger book called The A to Z of Brand Rejuvenation, which is what people probably were expecting for me to write. But this became such its own animal that it had to have its own legs and live.
I am so glad you did, and I've learned a lot from it. 10 principles in the book, and let's just sample 3 of them so we can talk about them. Principle 1, everything is centered to our core.
Right, so you take yoga. Anybody that doesn't even take yoga, I think we understand the principles, right? The principle is everything roots to your core, right? That's how you find that refreshment back out. That was the very first word I heard her using. I was like, wait a second, I use that same word in my business with businesses, right? So many businesses, they're so worried and they're so quick to do advertising and tell the world who they are, they haven't discovered their own core.
They don't even really know what it is.
Correct, they don't even know what they are. They're just too busy telling you something, but they don't root to something, right? Same thing if you think of just about humans. We're so busy sometimes telling the world what we are that we lose what is at the core of us. So yes, that's the first one that literally just sort of wrote itself.
That spoke to me because, as I told you, this is sort of my year for making my inside and my outside match.
Good.
And
it's
I
perfect,
really
right?
liked that idea very much. Okay, so another one, principle 4, is being present equals being relevant.
So in my business, think about it, you know, most companies, the ones that get into trouble are probably no longer relevant. They've spent too much of their day worrying, living in the past. They can't live in the now, and they certainly don't live in the future, right? They can't even see the future. This is a moment that, you know, in yoga, you very much have to be present.
Exactly.
If you're not present, right,
you're going to fall over.
Correct. If you're not present, then you might as well not even be there, because you can't dial in yoga. Same principle goes for work. You can't dial in your business, right? Same thing goes for us as humans. You can't dial in who we are. So you have to be present. So the more you're present, like right now, the more you understand how it is that you can be relevant to the rest of the world.
I just love that idea because it's letting go of the past. It's making the most of the present. And when you finally stop thinking about 100 things and really concentrate your full self on something, it is amazing what you can get done. So I think that is just a super profound idea. And principle 6, this surprised me so much. I want you to talk about it. You are not alone.
Yeah, so a million times I've heard CEOs and leaders say, listen, it gets really lonely at the top.
Up here at sea level, nobody knows what we're dealing with.
I don't know who, correct. The principle comes from another part of the A to Z book, which was if you have the right people that you've hired around you, you should never be lonely. There's no reason for you in the entire universe to ever be lonely. You've hired the right people. If you're lonely and you've got those people around, get rid of them and bring in the people that you can see the moon and go, you know what, we're going to go up there. Yes, great.
And they want to too.
Because it takes a village.
What if you're the employee and not the boss? How do you put that principle to work?
I think it can be the same thing because employees, the number 2 reason that a person loves their job is camaraderie.
Absolutely.
Is community, right? People leave their jobs partially because of their boss, not partially, a lot of times because of their boss.
Mostly, that's the majority of the reason,
That's correct. Right? But also because they did not have a sense of community. They didn't feel the love. This has two sides, and I'm glad you asked that. The other side is, as an employee, as an employer, I should never, ever, ever allow any of my employees to feel lonely. I should always be building this network of people who love to hang out with those other people. And if you can do that, that person's never lonely. And I can do the same version with me in the C-suite. I'll never be lonely. Because then it all connects. Like, all I have hired then are people that get along with other people.
Right. And who are enjoying their individual fulfillment of their potential, which is what we want out of work.
That's the point.
I love this little book, and I love that you didn't write a bunch of filler so that it was a big book and looked like, oh, look at me, I'm a business book. This is like, read me, I am a simple, profound little book, and I really enjoyed this.
Good.
Thank you, Ken, and I've loved sitting this way for a while.
This is rare.
Jay, Jill, thank you for the pants that stretch. I want to tell you that right now. We will link you to Ken's website, motivatedbranding.com, on ours, so you can check out this book and more on branding your business. Thanks very much, my friends. Appreciate it.
Namaste.
It's always great to see you. Namaste. Stick around. More New Day Northwest is next. Thank you.